Hi, Kia listeners. Let's learn sumo. I'm Clayton. Welcome to the podcast. This is day 10 of the May Grand Sumo tournament. Can this tournament be any more strange? It truly has a different vibe now without half the Sanyaku and some of our Sanyaku not really firing. So tonight we had another potential fight of the year, a massive bandage that did nothing, and a Yusho race that is anyone's to claim on day 10. Let's check the fights for tonight. Kirishima faced Shodai after Kirishima's big headbutt on the dohyo last night and his quite dazed look. He did say he was okay. He came out of it all right. During the day, he said he was fine. He showed up today with a massive bandage on his forehead to protect the wound. The side eye that the Shimpan judge gave him when he sat next to him at the dohyo was worth the price of admission. Anyway, he faced Shodai. It was a good touchy eye. Massive bandage on Kirishima's head comes straight off at the touchy eye. Kirishima pushes hard up into the arms of Shodai as Shodai holds him. Shodai then slowly retreats back, gets a hand on the back of Kirishima's head and slaps him down. Hataki Komi, Kirishima stays on 8 wins. Shodai gets a stack of envelopes at 4 wins. Maybe a bit of a hangover there for Kirishima. Kodazakura, he wrapped up Wakamoto Haru and just walked him back and over Yorikiri. 3 wins for Kodazakura, 2 for Wakamoto Haru. One of the fights of the tournament, if not fight of the year, in addition to the fight of the year list at the very least, Tamifuji versus Wakataka Kage. Wakataka Kage, he fires into a left outside front belt grip off the touchy eye. Tamifuji, he was trying for the front belt, but he can't get it. Wakataka Kage then tries hard to drag Tamifuji around the ring with his one-handed belt grip. He then changes, grabs the body of Tamifuji, and then tries to drive him back over the bales. Tamifuji has his left arm locked up in that Kimadashi arm lock style to try and control Wakataka Kage. And as he tries to Kotanage arm lock Wakataka Kage around to the bales, Wakataka Kage then pushes back in with a right inside belt grip. Tamifuji tries to drive Wakataka Kage to the bales and then belly pump him over. But as Wakataka Kage is on the bales, he uses this double belt grip that he's got to lift Tamifuji around his body and force him onto his toes on the bales and then force him over Yorikiri. Wow, that is pure power. I'm sure his right arm, which was injured last time, is screaming. When he came off the dohyo, he was standing to the side. You could see him rub it a little bit. I am not surprised. That took every ounce of effort that Wakataka Kage had. 8 wins for Wakataka Kage, 5 for Tamifuji. Kodashoho and Gonayama, they had a good fight as well. Good touchy eye, they thrust hard. Kodashoho got a good few deflections on Gonayama as he tried to push him past. He goes for a slap followed by a forearm and they thrust hard as Kodashoho drives. Gonayama gets an arm pull. He's able to wait on the bales on his toes just before Kodashoho goes down forwards. Hikiatoshi pull down is the call. As Gonayama also moves to 8 wins, Kodashoho stays on 6. Fujinakawa, he got a good win over Hiradoumi. It was pretty fast paced. Good touchy eye. They thrust at each other. Fujinakawa got a deflection on Hiradoumi, who almost goes down forward, but they return to thrust at each other. Fujinakawa drives Hiradoumi to the bales. Hiradoumi deflects Fujinakawa, almost goes forward, but somehow he gets his body to come back up. That is quite the core strength. Hiradoumi steps out backwards. Oshidashi push out is the call. Yoshino Fuji and Ichi Yamamoto, they had a good thrust fest tonight. Pretty fast-paced match. Good touchy eye as Ichi and Yoshi start firing at each other. They exchange some good thrusting. Yoshino Fuji forces Ichi Yamamoto back. Ichi Yamamoto keeps firing the thrusts all the way through. Yoshino Fuji tries a thrust down, but Ichi Yamamoto stays up but allows Yoshino Fuji to get up under Ichi Yamamoto's armpits and try a Tsukunage body throw. Doesn't quite make it work as Ichi Yamamoto goes back onto 2 feet, but that just allows Yoshino Fuji to be in a position to drive Ichi Yamamoto over the bales, despite some pretty good defense there from Ichi Yamamoto. 7 wins for Yoshino Fuji. Ichi stuck on 4, which he doesn't really deserve. He's had a couple of good fights this tournament. Another good thrust fest between Daisho and Tsurunomi. Good touchy eye. They thrust hard. A headbutt hits Daisho right under his left eye. You could see he immediately reacted. He fires some good thrusts at Tsurunomi, who's trying hard. Daisho grabs, but then he lets go. Daisho goes into a retreat, delivering thrusts as Tsurunomi chases. Tsurunomi is just a bit too committed, and Daisho gets a good thrust down, but he's in a bit of pain on his left eye. He'll probably have a shiner tomorrow. 4 wins for Daisho, 6 for Tsurunomi. Good win on the belt for Hakano Fuji over Chiyoshima. Good Shita Tanage underhand belt throw. Ura got a win over Oshoma. Oshoma worked hard with long arm Sapari to keep Ura back. Ura was low. He was looking for an opportunity. He keeps trying to get in, but Oshoma, he almost pulls Ura down. Ura then gets low, drives in for the belt as Oshoma is trying to nod his head back. He gets onto the left side, and that was the decider as he pushes Oshoma back. Ura then got a leg wrap, which pulled Oshoma off balance and then allowed him to get the Yorikiri win. 7 wins for Ura. A really good effort there. Tobizaru, he stayed in the race with a win over Abi. It was a good touchy eye. Tobizaru kept him at distance. Abi got a deflection, which caused Tobizaru to do a full spin around. He spins and faces Abi as Abi goes at him again. Tobizaru's on the bails and gets a bit of a thrust, but it was a fairly slow-moving Abi that went down to the side. So I think his feet just got caught or something. 8 wins for Tobizaru. Shishi, after his Henka last night, did an embarrassing Henka tonight, which didn't work, and Wakanosho just followed him around. Tsukidashi thrust out for Wakanosho for his 6th win. Shishi on 3 wins. Fuji Ryoga, he easily dealt with Toki Hayate, Oshidashi, and Koto Eho. He stayed in the race with a forceful Yorikiri, easy win over Ryuden. So we have a 6-way tie on day 10. On 8 wins, we have Kirishima, Gonoyama, Wakataka Kage, Tobizaru, Fuji Ryoga, and Koto Eho. 7 wins has Yoshino Fuji, Asanayama, Hakano Fuji, and Ura. 6 wins has Koroshoho, Tsurunomi, Wakanosho. 5 wins, and out of the Basho now, of course, Atami Fuji, Fujinokawa, Fujiseon, Oshoma, Mitakayumi, Kimbozan, and Roga. 4 wins has Shodai, Oho, Takanosho, Hirataumi, Ichiyamamoto, Daisho, Chiyoshima, and Abi. They're in a bit of strife. They need to get a move on. 3 wins and is Korazakura, Asahakoryu, Nishiki Fuji, Shishi, Toki Hayate, and Ryuden, all on wood, and 1 more loss will give them Makekoshi. 2 wins and already on Makekoshi is Oshumi and Wakamoto Haru. And finally, gaining a win tonight, finally, Tamawashi. He gets his first win up. That's it for day 10, folks. This could go either way. Hakioi, let's learn sumo.